Gabriel Chan asks us, what does it mean to you on a personal level to lose Walt Disney World, even if it's only for a few months? Gabriel asked a question very similar to this about Disneyland here a couple weeks ago. Guys, when it comes down to it, Tyler, Katrina, myself, producer Kurt, we're all California-based. Disneyland is obviously something that we spend a lot of time in week to week when it is open. But Disney World is a very different place to us. It's really a vacation destination, whereas for Garrett, Walt Disney World is that after-work type place. So, Katrina, what does it mean to you to lose Walt Disney World, even if it's just for a short amount of time?
I'm sad. It's like you lose kind of not your identity, but you lose part of your like happy place, because I always love looking on Instagram and Twitter of people posting their vacation pictures and, living vicariously through them until I'm able to go on my trip, and sadly, like our next trip is probably canceled until the end of the year. So for me, it's just kind of like a little dagger to the side, because it's sad. I love going to, the festivals over at Epcot and like seeing friends that I haven't seen in a long time and, getting a drink and then just chit chatting, eating off the garbage can. I'm going to miss all that stuff.
I feel like we actually have more friends in Florida than we do in California somehow. Or at least friends that we meet up with in Florida.
Yeah.
So it's a real bummer to not be able to see those people either. Not just because of our distance between each other, but also because that it was that great meeting place of, we can all go and have a great time there. And I even got a text from one of our friends earlier today, and I was just like, he bought me one of those up mugs from the tiki mugs from Disneyland Paris, and he's just like, yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna give that to you. And I'm like, don't worry, dude, just hold on to it. We'll see each other someday. And it just makes me sad to think about, like that. Not my mug, but just makes me sad to think about that. Won't be able to see him for quite a while, so.
Yeah, and we always like to make certain that everybody understands that not going to a Disney park is not the end of the world, and there's a lot more important things to be concerned about and worried about right now. We're not taking anything away from that. So when it comes down to it, though, Disney parks have a special place in a lot of people's hearts, including our own, and it was a question that was posed to us. Garrett, Disney World being your backyard, does the answer differ for you? How does it affect you on a personal level to not have Disney World?
For me, right now I'm in Nebraska, and it hurts me a lot because when I would get off of work, I would drive through Walt Disney World property to get to my house because my house is literally behind Walt Disney World. And I would drive through and it brought me a sense of peace and happiness and joy because I'm in the most magical place on earth, literally. And so it's very, very sad. I'm not going to cry over it because I understand the reason why it's closed. If it was closed forever, then that's a whole different story. But it's sad because it's like you're cut off from the magic, because the beautiful part about Walt Disney World is when you go there, you escape reality. You become part of that Disney story, whether that's Star Wars, Pixar, or the old school characters. You get to be a part of that. And I feel like a lot of people feel that part of their being is gone because Disney has influenced so many lives in so many ways. For me, luckily, I have this show where I can share my love and my joy and my magic. But for many people, where it's like Disney is their everything, I feel for them a lot because Disney is such an important part. You would never think that some consumer good is important to you. Like you wouldn't, if Target closed, you would be like, oh my gosh, Target's closed. But Disney is something else because Disney is an emotional connection. And I think that's what people think of more, is that they just don't have this emotional side of them anymore. And it's sad, but I know that when it reopens, people are going to go there to the best of their ability because they want to refuel themselves on that magic. And so it's sad, but you know what? It's not gone. The magic's still there. You can still watch stuff on YouTube. You can still look at pictures. Disney World's never gone.
That's right. We do our best to connect you to more of what makes you happy every single broadcast. And producer Kurt, losing Walt Disney World on a personal level, what does that mean to you?
Well, so for me, my wife and I kind of have a joke with that. Anytime we have a bad day, well, let's just hop on a plane and head over to Disney World. That's just what happens. To know that what we're going through right now, we can't do that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, wow. Like, even if we wanted to, it's never going to happen. But even if we wanted to, we couldn't do that right now. And we have plans for going next year. And who knows if, what's going to happen then. We wanted to see the Tron ride. Is that even going to be open when we're planning on going? It's just, I mean, like you said, there's a lot of things going on right now. And it seems like Disneyland should be the furthest from my mind, but it really isn't. I want to get back to normalcy, and I want to go back into the park and have a good time again. So
I think a lot of people share that sentiment. And recently here in Southern California, the local Southern California ABC station broadcasts the raising of the American flags. So as the flag goes up for the day, the Disneyland security team, who raises it every day, regardless of what's going on, and then they retire the colors every afternoon, they did so. Only the local ABC News affiliate covered it recently, and it meant so much to people. I saw the outpouring of emotion online of an empty Main Street with a castle in the background. I understand that that's Disneyland, but I think that goes to show you to a much greater degree what it means to lose these places that are so instrumental in people's happiness and so are so instrumental in people's optimism. The last time we got asked this question, and it was specifically about Disneyland, it really got me thinking about the psychology of losing places like Disney parks. And when you think about a place like Walt Disney World that has, a spectacular Magic Kingdom, not just a little intimate one like Disneyland, but a Walt Disney World that has so much happiness to offer, right? So many places to go to, so many things to see. To remove Disney parks from the zeitgeist, right? To remove Disney parks from the thing that you get to do or you could potentially experience, something that you could look forward to if you were able to save enough to go and experience. To know that that's been removed as an option, I think psychologically does a lot to people. To know that Disney, which relies so heavily on its theme parks as a company for a financial cushion, to know that that was just gone in an instant and that there was really no other recourse, that those parks have vanished in terms of being able to visit, means that a piece of people who really put a lot of their carefree happiness in a Disney park, in a place like a Walt Disney World trip, that is people's happy places. That is their happy place. That is their home away from home, many of them. And like I said, when we got asked this question originally about Disneyland, Disneyland is home, to me. So to know that a place like Walt Disney World, where, hey, it's a vacation destination that I like to go hang out at, I like to go have fun in, to know that it isn't even an option, like you say, Kurt, to know that you can't even do something like that. At a psychological level, it is hard. It is really troubling to know that that happiness has been locked up, that you can't access that now. That, to an entire country that has always relied on it, right? For the last 60 plus years at Disneyland and for the last 50 years for Walt Disney World, it's a beacon, not just for America, but for the world, right? Places like Disney parks mean so much to optimism and happiness, and to know that it's not even available, it's crippling to some people's mental health, right? And I know I don't want to make it sound like, that's over dramatized or just way too dramatic, but it can be crippling when there was no sort of, there was no precursor to this, right? There really was no way to prepare. And suddenly it's just gone. It's a hard thing to let go of. And a place like Walt Disney World that means so much, that is the namesake of the founder of the place that was meant to be the most magical location on the globe, to know that it's gone, even if it is just temporary, makes a huge impact in the mental health and the well-being of so many people, because that outlet that was always there for us suddenly isn't there. It's a hard thing to let go of. We thank you, Gabriel Chan, for your question.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.